Responsive design is important to think about if you're targeting audiences who will use your app on differently sized screens. At the minimum, users can rotate their device into portrait and landscape mode, so you should check that your app is user-friendly or at least usable in both orientations. Currently, our unit converter looks great on a portrait screen. Even though users will likely use it in portrait mode, we should consider the landscape layout too. When we rotate our screen to a landscape view, each category tile widget stretches out to the full width of the screen. This is because we set the max axis alignment property to stretch, meaning the row always tries to take up the whole width provided by the parent. This looks fine in portrait mode, but looks far too wide in landscape mode. We could use that large width more efficiently too, by perhaps showing 2 categories per row. Likewise, in our converter, the input boxes are spread out across the width of the screen. The bigger issue is that the converter overflows, so we can't even see our output. The yellow and black striped area indicates an overflow. We want a way to readjust child widgets based on the screen orientation or its height and width. There are multiple ways to do this in Flutter: Media Query, Orientation Builder, and Layout Builder. MediaQuery.of gives you the size, orientation, and other data about the app running on your current device. Let's build a landscape view for our category root. It's a grid view and uses the available space more efficiently than a list view. Now, how does the app know when to show the landscape view? MediaQuery.of context.orientation returns the device orientation. We can use this or manually calculate the device orientation using MediaQuery.of context.size. MediaQuery.of is more useful if you want to make decisions based on the complete context rather than on just the size of your particular widget. It is recalculated each time the constraints change, such as when a user rotates their phone. Another way is the Orientation Builder widget. The Orientation Builder's builder property is a function that has the parent widget's orientation as an argument. You can use this orientation to lay out your child widgets. Here we are using the Orientation Builder to rescale our unit converter so that it looks better in landscape view. Finally, the Layout Builder's builder property is a function that has box constraints as an argument. The box constraints give you information about the current constraints, such as the parent widget's height or aspect ratio. The difference between these 2 builders and the MediaQuery.of method is that they can be specific to one widget instead of to the whole app. Again, if you use these, your build function is automatically rerun when the user changes the app size. You can use these to responsively lay out your app for a large tablet screen versus a small phone screen. Maybe the phone screen has some overlapping widgets, whereas the tablet does not. Other ways to dynamically adjust an app's display include wrapping an aspect ratio around your widget, which forces it to be a certain aspect ratio, or using a fitted box, which scales its child to fit. Great! Now you can design and build your app for different screen orientations and sizes. This is important because you want your users to have a navigable and smooth app experience regardless of screen size.